Hey guys, this is just a quick overview of the technology rig that you had me working on. So I'll just give you an idea of how some of the controls work. So to begin, got the master control down here at the bottom that's going to be colored in brown. This is just going to move everything together. So pretty useful, probably for levitation. Then we got the feet controls, so pretty straightforward. I have only one icon compared to the having the icons actually control some of the attributes, which we can see here. So we got the ball roll, we got just the toe roll that's gonna give that little toe flip, toe tap, toe twist, heel twist, and the banks. Now, of course, all these attributes can be put into controls. I'm just kind of going off of my own preference as to what I would prefer. I think it gets a little bit uh, hard to keep track of when you have a lot of controls throughout the scene. So I try to limit them as much as possible. But if whoever's animating this decides they would like to have something that they can just rotate on the side to get the bank, that's no issue at all. And you got the pull vectors here, just gonna target where the knee is aiming. So if we move the cog, it's gonna kind of have those go out a little bit. They do naturally fall to the side a little bit more than I'd like, which wouldn't be a hard fix, although that's just gonna be how much that bothers someone, because I think actually just moving these controls wouldn't bother me much, but that, like I said, that can be fixed pretty easily how those fall naturally. So we'll reset this guy, these guys. Alright, so then we got the spine. The spine, I'm using an IK spline. So it is pretty bendy. It's got a lot of the motion I think you'd need. It's been my go-to for a while to set it up this way. There are some things I would suggest for it though, however, in the later on, and that would be that I think the spine should, yeah, there's a couple, like I'm just noticing this now actually, but I think this should rotate the control needs to rotate the head forward a little bit, but I'll fix that after this video is sent to you. But it also, another thing I'd like to see the spine do is I'd like to see a squash and stretch system on it. So what I mean by that is it would just, if I move this control up, instead of kind of just holding that thing there, it would actually deform it so that it stretches upward. I'll pull up a picture for you real quick. So, I guess if we're looking at this ball example here, you could see how this is its normal kind of shape. Actually, this one's probably a little bit better. So that it's normal, squashed, and then it stretches up like that. And this is just going to exaggerate movements to kind of show weight and speed. So this coffee one's another good example, how it shows it normal, then it squashes down to build anticipation for the jump, stretches out, equalizes again, stretches, bounces, and that's just going to show that movement in a much more stylized way that's going to be really appealing. So that's what I'd like to work on next. I'd also think that could be beneficial in the hands and possibly the legs as well. However, that is going to be a script I'm going to have to write. I can set it up, but it's just a lot of different pieces. So I would suggest doing some coding on that. So we got the IK-FK switch going on here just by selecting this circular control above the hand. You can turn it on and off. And right now it's put into 5, meaning that the arm is halfway being controlled by the IK, halfway being controlled by the FK. So that's how that's looking there. And the IK control also has control of the hand so that you don't have to go selecting multiple controls all the time. But if we wanted this to be entirely, let's say IK, now the FK is turned off and we're lifting, and now it's entirely under the control of the IK. So we also got the pull vector back here. Now this is just going to give you the same kind of results that we were seeing in the leg a little bit, but it's just going to help you position the elbow to wherever you like here. So that could be useful, obviously. And now we got the head controls here. The head controls are nothing too crazy. I could do a little bit more action in the neck, but I think if you use the tool that I got here, then it kind of is unnecessary to put a really crazy system on there to equalize like how much the neck is bending back and forth, just when you can just select each one individually. So, but yep, pretty standard on that. We got the head. This is just going to control just the head, so not bad there. We got a little ear action here, give a little bit more motion to the guy. And we got your antennas. So this is pretty similar to the one that I was sent over. I have some other plans that I can do with this. There's a lot of deformers that could really make this thing pop out. I can give you I'll try to make you a little demo of what we can do with it, but it really just depends on what kind of scene you're going for, because we can put a lot of crazy stuff that we'll never even need to use. So, and finally we got the shoulder. Shoulder's pretty straightforward here. You got the arm following nicely on that. You even get a little scapula control, which now that I see it with the backpack on is pretty unnecessary. So, and then we got the hand. And I can throw an attribute on here to preset kind of hand shapes. So if you want him to just instantly fall into a fist, I can throw that on there. But my personal preference is actually just to do it myself. It seems like when you set it up in an attribute, it just feels more restricted to me, and I never end up using it anyway. So we got this guy here. See, so that would be if I tried to set up an attribute just off of like rotation values, but we can just kind of get that going to make the fist. So and I set up a little pose for him here. So this is just kind of a little action pose I made for him so that you can kind of see what I was kind of thinking of, a little levitation pose that he might be doing if he's trying to fly around and looking back real quick. But so that's what I got for you all so far. If there's anything else you'd like to see or any suggestions going forward, feel free to let me know and we'll get it rolling.